Welcome back. It's a beautiful moment, and trust me, we had a great time there with Idem Emmanuel. We had to look at a few stuff, looking at solution for the recent kidnappings in Nigeria. Now, like I said, last week, 29th May, His Excellency the Governor of Cross River State turned 3 in this administration. And tonight I have two gentlemen that will be talking to us on what His Excellency has been doing. I'd like to introduce Esau Basidem. He's a comrade, he's also an elder, and the Secretary of Council, Calabar Municipality. Esau, good evening. So good to have you join us.
Good evening, my beloved brother. God bless you. Good evening, Cross-Variance.
And also joining us, we have Eval Asikong. He's a Senior Special Assistant to His Excellency on Strategic Communications. Eval, good evening and welcome to Weekend Politics.
Yes, good evening, MC Joe, and good evening, Cross-Variance.
All right. So let me start with you, Esau. Let's look at Prince Otu. Last week, 29th of May, His Excellency celebrated 3 years. Talk to us, how has it been? As a Cross-Riverian, as a party man, as an elder, how has it been?
Yes, for Cross-Varians, especially those who have been around, like us, who have been around in Cross River State, we know that it has been a turning point for Cross-Varians infrastructurally, academically, economically, especially security-wise. It has been a total turnaround. Cross River State took a different dimension, especially right from the last dispensation, where even farmers, meager farmers, traders who were selling water leaves, vegetables, and what have you, were afraid to go to farms, were afraid to go to markets. It was that bad, so that we even became a laughing stock, like the scenario that took place around Anantara, then where a water leaf farmer was kidnapped, and the kidnappers were at the point begging for 20,000 naira ransom to be paid. One trader at Mugba Market was also kidnapped. They paid 30,000 naira to get their belt out. So that it was that bad. So, and why I'm emphasizing on security is because by practice I'm a productive economist. And one of the major areas we consider so much is the area of security. When your place is secured, entrepreneurs, investors will come in and invest. And when you have investors flock into your state to invest, definitely there's going to be economic turnaround. Infrastructurally, there used to be roads, there used to be streets, there used to be close in Calabar metropolis that were not even trackable. Toilets are being bicycleable, motorcycleable, or motorable.
Yes.
It was that bad. So the governor came in, swinging into action. So many of those roads are not wearing those gory looks. Like if you're embassy around the Fete, in your area, were not just asphalted, but concretized. It takes a passionate leader to fix a road and even get it concretized. So many roads, as at the last count, since the inception of Governor Basede Dotu, about 476 kilometers of roads have been awarded and are seen and witnessed by Cross-Variance. Why I am emphasizing on Cross-Variance, including residents of Cross River State, is that he that wears a shoe knows where it pinches him or her. Because it is definitely Cross-Variance that will definitely appreciate what the Cross River State governor have done first before outsiders. As we are seated here, 111 kilometers of roads have been completed by the Senator Prince Dufam Apostle Comrade Dr. Basedo's led administration.
Let me quickly butt in because it's actually more than that. When we had the town hall meeting, over 400 kilometers. Yes. So I need to quickly bring the latest updates on that.
It's 608 kilometers.
Yes. The statistics is about 476 have been awarded. We're talking about completed project.
Okay.
About 111 kilometers of roads have been completed, and others, the contractors are working rigorously very hard to ensure they are completed. And these roads are not just concentrated in the southern central district of Cross River State. They cut across the three central districts of the state. And in addition, still talking about infrastructural development under the leadership of the current governor of River State, Apostle Senator Basedodo too. For those of us that were in the state, we know and we saw how Cross River State Library used to look like. But today, I think it is one of the most used event center. It is one of the most visited library in east of the Niger today, as far as this country is concerned. We know how the state of the art and the only existing or surviving newspaper house that talk about the Chronicle. We know how it used to look like. Today it has won a different look. It is part and parcel of the infrastructural revolution of the governor. And it is the first time a lot of things are happening. Because Calabar, like we all know, used to have the position of being first in all ramifications. First football was played in Calabar. First football in Nigeria was played in Calabar. First Inspector General Police was from Calabar. First everything was in Calabar. But we lost that title. We lost that glory. So the emergence of Senator Basedodo too has reintroduced the era of being first. As we speak, for so many years, graduates of post-primary schools, that secondary schools, who were ripe for WAEC, NECO, GCE, JAM. For so many years now, the governor have been paying their fees. It has not happened for a very long time. So for so many years, the governor has brought in a lot of things. And for so many years, as Calabar people, as Cross Riverians, they use restiveness where it used to be recurrent decimal. Every weekend, we must have what they used to call it as in this, it was a normal routine where every Saturday people must run in Calabar, temple run. They used to call it temple run in Calabar, where everybody must run for their life. It is now almost a forgotten story because the governor, as a chief security officer of Cross River State, has taken total charge of the security of Cross River State.
Absolutely. That
is not to say that we don't have pockets of criminalities around. They are just 0.5% over 100. So I can say that we don't have security challenges in Cross River State because of the handiwork of
absolutely. So let me hang you there. Let's hang on there and bring on Eval. Eval, you are in charge of strategic communications.
Yeah.
Now, His Excellency came on board with the mantra "People First" in the last 3 years. Let's look at the people first side by side. His projects and visions that he has brought for Cross Riverians.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, before I will answer questions, I need to set a foundation that will address some concerns, understand, and also correct some misconceptions from members of the public. Some have asked questions, raised a concern. What are the new projects that the governor of Cross River State is putting in place? When they talk of what are those what are the things that Governor 2 has done? They mean signature projects, you understand? Because every governor that comes to Cross River State, we want to put in place signature project that he will be remembered for when he leaves office. So that's why setting this foundation, laying this foundation becomes necessary to address certain concerns. And what is this foundation? I want to say that every governor comes with a unique philosophy that often shapes the policy direction of his administration. And these philosophies are often determined by the prevailing circumstance at the time they became governors. Just like Donald, whose philosophy informed his policy of tourism. Just like Senator Lee Emuke, whose philosophy informed his policy of rural development. Just like Ayade, whose philosophy informed his policy of industrialization. Governor 2 has his own philosophy. And what is the philosophy of Governor 2? Governor 2 believes that a society can only make any meaningful progress if there are continuities, not just in government projects, but in government programs and policies. Now, this philosophy of Governor 2 is informed by certain observable regularity that vertically cuts across administrations in the state. Now, what is this observable regularity? Successive administrations in Cross River State had always abandoned project policies and programs they inherited from their predecessors. You understand? And this cycle of project abandonment, of programs abandonment, of policy abandonment has been eroding the very foundation of our shared prosperity and overall development. So Governor 2 came on board and he came with a policy response to address this challenge because it has been a lingering challenge. He came with his own policy response. And what is this policy response? First, let us look at his policy framework. Governor 2 projects, the administration of Governor 2 is projected as a concentric that rallies all project, programs, and policies that were abandoned from past administrations in order to have them streamlined into continuity. You and I know very well, in this Cross River State, we've had situations where a governor will secure loan facilities from financial institutions or multilateral agencies to set up projects, only for that project to be abandoned by a successor. Meanwhile, that successor is under the obligation and compulsion to carry out loan repayment for the same project he abandoned, while he himself also will secure another facility to set up another project that will be abandoned by another successor. So Governor 2 said no. He is not embarking on any project, any new project, until he finishes all the abandoned projects he cumulatively inherited from past administration, including the military. You understand? And Governor 2 derived his inspiration from the success story of Lagos State. Now, I want to carry out a comparative analysis between two subsidiary contemporaries, that is the economy of Lagos and Cross River State. As of the year 2000, the gross domestic product of Cross River State, MCGO, was $10.08 billion. Is available on net. As of that year 2000, the gross domestic product of Lagos State was $29 billion. Now, as of the year 2025, that is 26 years later, while the gross domestic product of Cross River State still remained at $10.08 billion, that of Lagos State had increased to $259 billion. That is 791% increase in the GDP of Lagos. That is massive. Questions have been raised. Why is it that the Cross River State GDP has become so stagnated? Why that of Lagos State has increased? The answer is simple. In Lagos State, successive administrations have always inherited projects and programs and policies from their predecessors, either taking it to a considerable milestone or completion. You understand? For instance, now, when Tinubu came about, have patience with me because my approach to the policy direction of Governor 2, you understand, is very different, because that is my mandate, to simplify the expository analysis of the governor's policy, actions and priorities of members of the public. So now, for instance, when Tinubu came on board as governor of Lagos State, Tinubu set in place some initiatives which are still running till today. In the year 2003, Tinubu set up the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, known as LAMATA. And this came with a strategic transport initiative. You understand? That came with 7 rail corridors. These rail corridors were named after colors. We have the blue line, we have the red line, we have the yellow line, and so on and so on. Tinubu that set up this initiative did not start any of this project. It was Fashola who succeeded Tinubu in 2007 that commenced the construction of the blue line, because these rail lines are in phases. The first phase of the blue line is from Marina to Mile 2, while the second phase is from Mile 2 to Okumaiko. You understand? Fashola started the first phase of the blue line, which is 13 kilometers. He did not complete it. It was when Sanwo-Olu came on board that Sanwo-Olu completed the first phase of the blue line started by Fashola, and then he himself started the construction of the first phase of the red line, which is from Agbado to Oyingbo. That is 27 kilometers. So Sanwo-Olu completed the two phases, both the one that was started by Fashola and the one he started, that's the red line. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu in February 2024 came and commissioned these two phases completed by Sanwo-Olu. This was a project he initiated as a governor of Lagos State 24 years ago that he came to commission. You understand? If it were to be in Cross River State, it could have been abandoned. Mind you, there are loan facilities gotten from financial institutions and multilateral agencies to set up these loans. What that means is that those monies have become bad debt. The same strategic transport master plan of Lagos State gave rise to BRT, Bus Rapid Transit System in Lagos State. As I'm talking to you today, the BRT, the Bus Rapid Transit System in Lagos State, is generating an average of 500 million naira for the government of Lagos State. You can imagine if the strategic transport master plan of Lagos State were abandoned by successive administrations, what Lagos State will have been losing. Now, in Lagos State, the average internally generated IGR of Lagos State is 61 billion naira. You understand? Out of that 61 billion naira, 35% of that revenue comes from the seaports of Lagos. That is 20 billion naira on monthly average. And then we have one of the most strategically located maritime gateways in the country. That's the Bakassi Deep Sea Port. Ordinarily, it has been expected that Governor 2 will abandon the project. Mind you, Governor 2's philosophy, Governor 2 policy direction is hinged on sustainability of projects, programs, and policies. So let us expect Governor 2 to abandon the Bakassi Deep Sea Port inherited from his predecessors. You can imagine a functional Bakassi Deep Sea Port, how much it will generate for the government of Cross River State. Governor 2 has done the needful. In December 2024, he carried out hydrographic survey, which is the preliminary that will introduce the construction of a deep sea port. He has done that. You understand? He has also secured a facility from Afrexim Bank, $2.27 billion, which Mr. President has already approved the sovereign guarantee, because for you to get external facilities, you must be cleared by the debt management office. You understand? Then the debt management office will now report to the presidency. So it is presidency that will provision the sovereign guarantee by way of approval. And also, Mr. President has been so fair to Cross River State. He had also promised to be on ground for the groundbreaking event that will herald the construction of the Bakassi Deep Sea Port. You understand? So that is one of the abandoned projects that Governor 2 has visited. Also, Tinapa was a project that was set in by Governor Donald Duke, and facility to the tune of $420 million were secured from African Development Bank to set up Tinapa Business and Leisure Resort. Now, Tinapa, because of discordance in political interest or ideological variation by the successor of Donald, Tinapa was abandoned. And Tinapa, by its framework, was designed to generate return on investment, you understand, to offset its liability and also to contribute in enhancing the improvement of the state internally generated revenue. But how do you expect Tinapa to fulfill this obligation when it has already been abandoned? Consequently, Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, took over Tinapa in 2013 and took over its liability as a bad debt, which is an embarrassment to the state government. But Governor 2 has done the needful. Our people first governor has done the needful. He has already paid 18.5 billion naira to secure Tinapa from AMCON. And now Tinapa is a fully owned facility of the state government.
Absolutely. You know, if truly, if we want to reel out the achievements of His Excellency the last 3 years, we need to have like 2-3 hours to talk about it.
I wanted to tell you that
absolutely, because you know,
booking me for just 30 minutes is not enough.
Absolutely, because you know it's actually a time show. But let's quickly, definitely, we're going to have a special session. You know, I'll talk with the GM. Where we can, you know, reel out. We do it like 3 hours.
Okay, but I will quickly mention
the last one.
Yes. Now, the reason why I had to say this foundation is that most of the projects of Governor 2 are rehabilitations. Just as I said, his framework policy direction is just on sustainability of projects inherited from past administration. That's why I set those foundations. Because people have been asking, what new thing is he doing? He's not cutting ribbons. So that, as I'm going to mention, most of these roads, they are rehabilitations. Even when you check, you will see that our road infrastructures have their structural integrity have been compromised. That's why you see potholes, dilapidated roads that have hindered vehicular movements and also affected negatively commercial activities. So, Governor 2, I will start from Abi. Governor 2 has initiated the construction of 20 kilometers Bahumono Ring Road. That Bahumono Ring Road covers 9 communities. We have it covers Anong, Ebom, Ediba, Abego, Ebom, Ebijakara. You understand? So by the completion of this road, there is going to be the social cohesion among those communities is going to be strengthened, and then there will be rural connect aside and enhancing commercial activities in the area of Bahumono. Bahumono is in our local government area. Then we also have the Insan urban road construction that links Akankpa 1 and Akankpa 2 state constituencies. Before now, these 2 constituencies have been disconnected. Meanwhile, they are under the same local government. And this Insan urban road is 28 kilometers. It's 28 kilometers that Governor 2 has constructed. You understand? And then we also have the Buki West, Buki East road construction. That is 17 kilometers, and the cost implication is 10 billion. Governor 2 has done so much. It's just that Governor 2 is someone who does not like to, you know, noise his achievements. He's not a loud person. There are a lot that he's doing. Then we also have the construction of Adiabo Ikunetu Road. You understand?
Yeah.
This project was initiated in the military days. For 33 years, this project was abandoned. But Governor 2 said no. As I told you, I said he wants to visit all abandoned projects, right from even the military days to CFC, you understand? So he has visited Ikunetu Road, and it's almost 80% completion. You understand? Governor 2 also has carried out road rehabilitation in the Yako axis. We have the Nkoro in Ugep. He has constructed it. We also have the Mpani Agoipo road. He has constructed it. You understand? There are a lot of road rehabilitations, just as he has said. I don't want to revisit the
absolutely. You know, in fact, I would really say that His Excellency did the right choice having you this as a strategic communications.
I'm obliged, sir.
let me come to his son now. His son, let's quickly look at him. With all of these that you've mentioned and Ival has mentioned, we still see pockets of people, I know this propagandists coming out to talk. You know, we see them in the last 2 weeks, they've been flooding the social media space, you know, with a lot of terrible things, trying to drag this administration. And these guys, they say what His Excellency has done, even the blind could see. But what is really wrong with some of these guys that are taking to the social media space, trying to discredit this administration?
Well, let me use this opportunity to reiterate my point that it is he that wears the shoe that know where it pinches him. It is only Crossivarians who have been around that knows what the governor have done so far, and they truly and sincerely appreciate the governor. Even those who are not from Cross River State, who are doing business in Cross River State, also appreciate the governor. we take exception to any paid political jobber coming to try to insult the personage of the governor. We are not adverse to criticism, constructive criticism, but we'll never allow anybody to come insult our sensibilities, so that everybody have where they come from. I am from Bikwo in Calabar municipality in Cross River State. I can't start going to Kano State, to Delta State, to River State, to insult those governors for not doing this. They are doing this. They are not supposed to do this. I am a social critic. Some of them, I am proud to say that when it comes to civil society and human rights activism, I am far their senior. But he who alleges in civil society must prove. So that if you are to be a social critic, charity begins at home. You start with your state first. You don't leave your state, because by the grace of God, because of politics and civil society activism, I have traveled across. I have gone to most of these people that are making noise on social media. I have gone to their state. Some roads in their state are not trackable. Roads have divided communities. They do not have good pipe-borne water, drinkable water. They do not have good electricity, steady electricity. They can't even boast of 3 to 4 hours steady electricity. And you are coming to talk to somebody that has fixed a lot of things that a lot of people have lost hope. You are coming to talk to somebody that have taken time to inject discipline and hygiene into the politics of Cross River State. You have come to insult somebody that today investors that left this place, Cross River State, because of insecurity, they have come back. Even those that have not been doing business in Cross River State, having been aware of the conducive environment that the governor of Cross River State have created, they are coming, they are rushing for space. And like my brother have said, it is only those that are exposed that will really understand what the governor is doing. And it is also those that are passionate about Cross River State that will appreciate. For example, you cannot underestimate the economic values of the maritime sector. In fact, it is one of the major areas that Lagos State is using to be a king state in the entire Africa, where no more than 99.6% of the companies we have in Nigeria have their headquarters in Lagos State. Everybody wants to do business in Lagos State because of the respect they have for continuity in governance, and because of the enabling environment they have created. Everybody wants to be in Lagos State for business. That is the same thing the governor of Cross River State is tenaciously and courageously doing. Look at the oil wells that were taken from us. He is fighting courageously and tenaciously to bring them back. By the special grace of God, we are hopeful we are going to get these things back. Look at the seriousness and commitment he is showing in the maritime sector, especially the Bakassi deep sea port. So many people will reject political appointment when activities commences at Bakassi deep sea port.
Yes.
I have been in Lagos. I know what is happening in Gate A, Gate B, C, and D, Tinkan Island, Papa Wharf, and what have you. So there are a lot of people, auctioneers, and what have you, clearing and forwarding agents. You tell them to come and be commissioners, they say, thank you very much, I am not interested. People are yet to understand what the governor is doing. And it is our prayer, because of our level of exposure, that God should guide our governor to achieve all he has set out to achieve for Cross River State. So we are using this opportunity, to say that whatever you are or you believe you are, please concentrate in your state. There are a lot of economic deficiencies your state are passing through. There are a lot of infrastructural deficiencies your state needs to fix. Go to your governor, talk to your governor to fix those things in your state. We have the most accessible governor in Nigeria. I'm proud to say it. The governor of Cross River State is the most accessible governor. You call him unless he's busy. But if he's less busy, he picks your call. Even when he is busy, he sends you a text message, I will call you back. And he will truthfully call you back and discuss things that will bring about the growth and development in Cross River State with you. And even if you have anything to offer, you move on from there. That's why a lot of young men have been given opportunity to showcase their capacity. Today, my beloved brother is SSA to the governor, and you can attest to the fact that he is not lacking. He has the competence, he has the dexterity, he has the sagacity, he has the credence, he has the experience, he has the capacity to deliver.
Absolutely.
That is why the governor must be given the opportunity to concentrate. He doesn't need to be distracted by political hallelujah boys. It is not every government that appreciates and encourages political hallelujah boyism, praise singers, and chorus leaders. The governor of Cross River State has refused to be that loud.
And data boys.
The governor of Cross River State has chosen to focus on what will bring goodies and good tidings to Cross River State and Cross Riverians at large. So when he asks you questions about the economy, when he asks you questions about the power sector, when he asks you questions about the agroeconomic sector, you have nothing to offer. You don't expect him to put square peg in round holes.
Yeah.
It is what has taken Cross River State backward. Because before now you see people, they take food on the table, they appoint people, some can't even, they don't even know what to do. But because you want to empower somebody, there are a lot of ways to empower people. Governance is a very serious business.
Yes.
So you must put square pegs in square holes.
Yes.
So that anybody you are giving appointment, like the governor is doing, should be able to defend what he is doing in his or her agency or ministry. Not just somebody that will be dodging from camera. So wherever we come from, for those that are residents in Cross River State that are doing business, please continue supporting the governor and do your business well. Please, everybody should mean well for the governor, because the governor means so well for Cross Riverians and even residents. Don't leave your state to come and insult our governor. He is a highly respected and a honorable man, not because he was in the House of Reps. He is a distinguished man of valor, not because he's a distinguished senator, but because he's been able to carve a niche for himself. So he needs to be given the necessary support to continue with his good work. We do not need distraction. Take your insult to where insults are needed. Here, hard work is needed, because the governor is a hard worker, and we have to follow who know road and follow who know God.
Absolutely.
Governor Basil too has all the qualities to deliver.
Absolutely, absolutely, comrade. Now, I love the energy, because when I see the energy, that's the spirit of comrade.
Comrado.
Now, finally, let's look at the 3 years has gone, and this is the 7th day as we've just entered the final year before the next electoral cycle. What should Cross Riverians be expecting?
Well, I wanted to be thematically exhaustive in analyzing or presenting the achievements of His Excellency to members of the public, because the time frame is too limited.
We'll still come
because we have in the area of health. The governor has recorded monumental strides in the area of health. Like ICOM had never had a general hospital, but the governor has started construction of a general hospital in ICOM from foundation to finish. The governor has rehabilitated many health centers and general hospitals,
including that of Yawasang, my community.
Okay.
Yawasang quality.
Okay, he can attest to that. So the governor also is stalling the brain drain from the health sector, because we've had instances where medical doctors are leaving state service to federal service You understand, where they pay remunerations are high. So the governor is carrying out salary reviews to see how he will equate state salary structures of medical doctors and nurses with that of federal, so that he will stop a brain drain from a state civil service to federal service. So that alone, you now take into consideration Cross River State is bedeviled with paucity of funds, and yet the governor is embarking on this. You understand? These were things that his predecessors were shying away from, but he is, taking bold step in enhancing this. Also, in the area of tourism that Donald initiated, the governor has done so much. The governor in 2023 initiated 13 months, because already the carnival, Calabar Carnival, was already dying. You understand? So when the governor came on board, he now said, no, this is a pride of Cross River State. You understand? Governor promised to globalize Calabar Carnival, and to do that, in 2023, he set up a 13-man carnival review committee headed by High Chief Edem Duke, with other stakeholders in culture and tourism. And their mandate was simple. You understand? Review the structures of carnival within 20 years of its existence. Submit report and recommendation so that it will enhance the governor to globalize carnival. And I believe that they did a thorough job. The report and recommendation they submitted to His Excellency actually aided His Excellency to globalize carnival. If you check, the 2025 carnival, you understand, was the best right from its inception. 2025 carnival, the attendance, influx of persons into Calabar, you understand, it transited from mere national event to global cultural brand. That was the best of its kind. The governor also, by the passage of the Carnival Commission law, the governor has set an institutional and legal structure for the sustainability of carnival. This legal and institutional framework, you understand, is to strengthen the continuity of carnival. The governor has done so much. Also, the governor has carried out renovations of hospitality infrastructures and facilities, like the renovation of the Ranch Resort. Donald came on board, and Donald had to modify, had to develop it from the usual Obudukato Ranch or Ranch Resort. Then it was being abandoned into somnolence. But the governor too came on board and carried out the renovation of Ranch Resort. Now it's functioning. Other hospitality facilities and infrastructure, the governor has renovated. Like if you go to Marina Resort, the governor is carrying out extensive renovation of the Marina Resort with state-of-the-art facilities. You understand? So I wanted to thematically exhaust my analysis. You understand? But anyway, let me just summarize.
What are Cross River looking for?
Yes.
In the next, as we talk about the final lap before the next electoral season.
Yes.
What are we looking at?
Yes.
Cross River should be expected with all of these that His Excellency has done for us?
Yes. As I said earlier on, the governor himself promised that he will never embark on any new project until he finishes the one he inherited from past administrations. I want to give credence or support a point raised by my senior friend. There are people we call narrative architects who want to discredit the state because of some pecuniary gains they get from enemies of the state. You understand? Like we have one person like that from Delta State who has been attacking the governor, saying all sorts of things. Your state needs your advice and consent. Leave Cross River State alone. These are narrative architects. We don't need that. Those are negative energies. Even the blind can say that the governor has done much. Just as you said, you asked, what will Cross Riverians be expecting in the next 1 year? That's a very wonderful question. I have been making appearances on some podcast studios, FM studios. You understand? Now, anytime I talk about the governor being focused on sustainability of project programs and policies, they will want to ask, like, how long will it take the governor to finish the abandoned project and focus on new ones? Cross River State are expectant. They are already excited with the speed of development the governor has shown in. They are already excited with the explosive development in terms of infrastructure and other sectors. The state is benefiting from the governor. So, what Cross Riverians should be expecting in the next 1 year is the completion of all abandoned projects and the governor now addressing new challenges and concerns. Because in every community, in every constituency, you understand, there are social and environmental challenges. And the governor is doing an extensive need assessment to address new challenges that may have come up in most of these respective communities and constituencies. So what Cross Riverina should be expecting in the next 1 year is the completion of all these abandoned projects and then addressing new environmental and social challenges in most of the constituencies and communities. So that's what Cross Riverians should not lose hope. Cross Riverians should keep on entrusting their confidence in Governor Otu, because Governor Otu will never fail them. He has already created a name for himself while in National Assembly. He is the first person in National Assembly that was assumed that his constituency covers the entire state, because he was helping even his social investment scheme cover the entire state. And this was a senator that was representing just the Southern Senatorial Zone. Now extending his social investment scheme across the state. I seated here, I'm one of the beneficiaries when I was even from the Central Senatorial Zone. You understand? So Cross Riverians should keep on reposing confidence in the person of Governor Otu, because in as much as he has not failed while in National Service, in National Assembly, he will not fail. Already, Cross Riverians have seen the development stride, and he will not renege. He will not renege. So Cross Riverians should keep on reposing confidence in the person and administration of Governor Otu and his deputy governor. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. Indeed, we are really overshot our time, but truly this is one conversation that we have to expand more on it. Bishop Asedem, a comrade and also another, thank you very much for your time. The Secretary of the Council, Mrs. Balizin, thank you for your time, for your insight in this discourse. Not forgetting Val Asekong, the Senior Special Assistant with Excellency on Strategic Communications. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for having your moment here with us.
Thank you.
And this is where this is where we bring the show to an end. Let's do this again next week, Sunday, God willing. Till then, my name is Joseph Ian. Have a beautiful evening. Good night.